Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and this is Central Intelligence. The Rock is a great guy and his smile can move mountains. And so after all his posts on his social media, I was really stoked to check out his newest movie, Central Intelligence. And he gives a great performance in it. He's committed, like he always is, to make sure you will have a great time. But is this really the most fun you'll have all summer? Well, I think definitely not. And to be quite honest, Central Intelligence was a big letdown for me.
That was so close.
But let's start with a positive, and that's again The Rock. But is it the only good thing in this movie? Well, I think that would be too harsh to say. The movie's not bad, it's just average. It's not offensive and you can enjoy it and have some laughs, but it's also very lazy and one of the most predictable things I've seen in recent years. The story goes like this. The Rock's character was a heavy overweight child who was bullied back in school, while Kevin Hart was the school darling, but unlike you might expect, not one of the bullies, but a guy with a golden heart. They used the so-called Benjamin Button technology to put Dwayne Johnson's face onto that of a big, naked child, and it's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. Years later, that kid turns into the hulkiest actor out there, who is now a CIA agent needing the help of Kevin Hart's character. He plays Calvin Joyner, the once golden jet, who thinks his life only got worse after all his potential back in school. He's a simple accountant, but that's exactly what Bob Stone, Johnson's character, needs at the moment to solve some kind of international espionage plot. The chemistry between those two actors is great. Hart plays mostly the straight man, while Johnson can shine as a weird comedic boy in a man's body type of guy. But apart from that, the movie doesn't have too much to offer. Its writing feels very lazy, with no real surprises or things that will make you awe. It feels like a very subpar version of The Nice Guys. There are definitely some laughs, but most of them are predictable and there are way too few overall.
Cool.
No, it's not cool.
Cool.
No, I said it's not cool.
And then Central Intelligence also tries to be an action movie, but it doesn't succeed in being an action comedy. Whenever there's an action scene, the movie kicks into going by the numbers action mode with a very shaky cam and just swish pans from one guy shooting to another guy shooting. Except some very brief moments, there's no real comedic quality to the action, except what you already saw in the trailer, and it doesn't work as an intense action movie either, because 1, it's extremely generic, and 2, at the same time there are no stakes, because no one could ever hit The Rock, even though he's 10 feet tall and in plain sight. So if the comedy hits only half the time, or less, and the action is just to get it over with, what about the story itself? Well, not much. They try to establish some kind of twisted story, but it's really bland and there's no strong antagonist either. Also, and that's one big also, the action plot and the big kid turned CIA hero who teams up with a former high school acquaintance never really click. They should have incorporated the former bullies much stronger into the movie and make those two parts feel connected. But it's not. The Rock's character is also really strange to describe. At first, it seems he's only playing the weird, naive guy because he tricks Hart's character into coming along with him, but in order for his plan to succeed, he must actually be quite bright, and yet he continues with some very off-putting stuff later on. Concerning the Rock's character, I think it would have been better if there would have been a stronger break there. As for Hart's character, his whole arc of a guy who's not happy with his life feels so cheaply put together and has one hell of a cringe-worthy moment at the end that again is very predictable. Central Intelligence is good for some laughs and it's always a pleasure to see the big Johnson on the big screen, but the storytelling, characters, gags and action scenes only add up to a movie that's average at best. Alright, that's it. Like always, please tell me in the comments below what you think about Central Intelligence. Did you like the movie? And also tell me what's your favorite movie The Rock is in. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
You are not my